Right to this, a suggestion via a channel member. Guys, let's jump into it.
My name is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and it is my deep honor and privilege to welcome you to the inauguration of our new mayor of New York City, Zoranqame Mandani. We gather here today to celebrate the beginning of his leadership, as well as that of two incredible elected officials who will be guiding the city by his side. Public Advocate Jumaane D. Williams.
You guys, and see, and this is kind of what I was saying, like slightly before we started the video, at least, right? Like, look at the people here, right? The overwhelming majority of the people in New York City are not super wealthy, and they can barely afford to even live in New York City, right? But they're still choosing to live in a place they can no longer, they cannot afford at all. So what, of course, the first thing that they do is elect someone like Mamdani. I mean, like, this was I would say the logical extreme of this here. But let's continue. So instead of moving, but all right.
And our new controller, Mark D. Levine. We also celebrate the hundreds and thousands of public servants and city leaders getting to work today, from our sanitation workers and librarians to our commissioners, deputy mayors, and our school's chancellor, as they care for our city and its people in the coming weeks, months, and years. Together, this ascent marks a new era for New York City, led by a historic new mayor in Zoranqame Mandani, guided by his dedication to a working class that makes our beautiful city run. Importantly, I also ask that we consider today an inauguration for each one of us, too, the nearly 8.5 million New Yorkers who make up the greatest city on earth. Because it is the people of New York City who have chosen historic, ambitious leadership in response to untenable and unprecedented times. New York, we have chosen courage over fear. We have chosen prosperity for the many over spoils for the few.
Yeah, those few are going to leave. Okay, like the ones who Mamdani basically is hoping will stay specifically to pay all of these exorbitant, taxes. They're going to leave, and I think that's just going to be the reality here. I think they're probably going to get as far away from New York City as humanly possible, but also still maintain some, I don't know, Airbnb type of scenario. Let's say. In New York City, so they have no residency in New York in general, right? I mean, I think that's just basically what's going to happen here, because generally New Yorkers don't really want to leave New York, right? Generally, I think by default here, because nothing really, within the rest of the United States of America is even similar to what New York has to basically offer. So I think that they're going to leave and still frequent New York City. That's just kind of what's going to happen here. So your tax base of people who you're looking to basically pilfer from, and if we follow exactly his words, that he stated, rich white people specifically is what he said, right? So I can imagine how this is just going to be very intriguing here, guys, right? The people who he's hoping will stay will leave. And then the people that basically cannot afford to kind of do anything but vote him in for the most part. Bro, how are you going to pay for it, bro? That's just my problem here. How do you plan on paying for this if all the people with the actual money are leaving and the ones who are staying are the ones who could not afford to stay in New York City in the first place, guys? Right? That's kind of my issue with this year.
And when the entrenched ways would rather have us dig in our feet and seek refuge in the past, we have chosen instead to turn towards making a new future for all of us. In Zoranqame Mandani, we have chosen a mayor who is relentlessly dedicated to making life not just possible, but aspirational for working people. New York City has chosen the ambitious pursuit of universal child care, affordable rent and housing, and clean
affordable rent and housing,
public transit for all. And we have chosen that over the
It's a good ideal,
distractions of
right?
bigotry and the barbarism of
But
extreme income inequality. We have chosen this path because we know that it's the right thing to do, it's the smart thing to do, and that if we can make it here, we can make it anywhere.
yeah, but you can't make it there. If you could actually technically by your own merit make it in New York City, then you would not need someone like AOC or Mamdani to be in office in this place here. Like you wouldn't have voted them in. So it tells me that the average person that's actually living there by default cannot afford to live there in the first place here. Like this is a very first world type of issue here, guys. Generally, if you cannot afford to live somewhere, you will try your hardest to get out of this somewhere generally, right? Because again, I'm just going to go back to this here. Who's going to pay for this here? I see in the comments here you said that Trump is supporting him. What do you mean by that? Like, I mean, is it like a troll? Is Trump supporting him as a troll or something, guys? Because that's a wild statement there. But it is interesting though because think about this here. Mamdani gets into office. Obviously, AOC's power kind of consolidates. She gets a little bit more powerful. She actually, in fact, decides to run for president, and that would be very interesting. And I mean, very interesting. So I guess if I was coming from the side of like Trump specifically, right? I'd be like, hold on, guys. I would definitely promote Mamdani because that by default means that AOC is going to run and she's going to lose when she runs. So that's like an easy win for like JD Vance or something, guys, right? And I think that's just kind of what it sounds like. I mean, outsider looking in here, obviously.
New York City, this is an inauguration for all of us. Because choosing this mayor and this vision is an ambitious pursuit. It calls on all of us to return to public life en masse. Now is the time for us to turn towards our neighbors, stand with them, and return to community life. A city for all will require all of us to fill our streets, our schools, our houses of faith, our PTAs and our block associations as we support this mayor in making an affordable city a reality for all of us.
An affordable New York City, guys.
Zoranqame Mandani
What's next, London?
will be the first Muslim mayor of our great city.
What does that mean?
He will be our first immigrant mayor in over a century. And he will be the youngest mayor of New York City in generations.
You see how they respond to virtue signaling, guys?
Zoran will be a mayor for all of us.
Yeah, I know.
With that, let us extend our deepest well wishes and support to Zoran, his wife Rama, and his family, as well as those of our public advocate Jumani Williams and controller Mark Levine. We send you, your spouses and families, and all your loved ones all the support in the world as you embark on this great pursuit of a better city and future for all. Felicidades.
Okay, all right, yeah. Here's the thing, guys. I definitely would love to see AOC run for president, guys. I cannot wait for that to happen, because I just can't wait for it to happen. And like when I hear you guys say specifically here in the comments that that potentially Trump is like, I guess, agreeing with him on a couple of things and all these other, I mean, that's interesting. It's intriguing, guys. I mean, I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen the story, so I don't know kind of the full depth of it. So I really can't truthfully comment on it, right? Um, but yeah, she definitely she 100% needs for Mamdani's platform to succeed because that will, of course, by default, push her into kind of running for presidency, and then she'll get basically mopped, bro. That's not a thing. I'm not sure America is in a place right now, large scale outside of the big cities, right? At least um, that wants to kind of adhere to her overall like cultural ideology, not large scale at least, outside of the cities. Okay. Now, what's interesting though, like there's so many like contradictions happening here. Like obviously AOC is smart enough to be fully aware of like the law of supply and demand. With her basically and her party and her cohorts and everyone around her basically pushing for not a singular type of border for our country, bringing in an influx of people into all of these big cities to the point where a good amount of them are going bankrupt, and then complaining about rent inequality, right? Or income inequality. It's like, guys, what are we what are we talking about here? Like, you do know the more people that are chasing one thing, it means the price of said thing starts to go up, right? Like, I mean, what exactly would you like the rent to be in Manhattan? $300, guys. This is not the 1930s, okay? And that's probably still that's excessive in the 30s. But you get what I'm saying here, guys, right? The law of supply and demand by default dictates if you are telling the country that you want to bring in a gigantic influx of people and backing the idea of bringing an influx of people while fighting against ICE and CBP specifically, right? Like, why are you surprised that the price of like rent is astronomical? You can't be surprised, right? And you're just like, yeah, bring more people in, but then bring the price of rent down. Like, you do understand, like, guys, if I owned property in Manhattan, I would sell said property in Manhattan. Right now, for the sole purpose of like renting, I would never try to rent anything in New York City. Um, Specifically like rent to someone. In like a rent controlled area or like all this other nonsense. Like, listen, guys, we've tried government housing. If you want to live in government housing, do that. It always turns into a ghetto. Always turns into a ghetto, right? um like, understand you're waiting. How long is the average wait on fixing something menial as your heat? Let's say it's important in New York City, obviously, but like, think about these things here. You let the government run that specific thing, and look at the scenario that we always for some reason end up in, right? So you need the private um kind of space to own these properties, rent these properties, because they're the ones who are going to fix these properties, right? Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies, and I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings, and we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry. Right? Listen, like and subscribe.